Hello and welcome to another episode of BLG News for the week of April the 8th. I'm Marcus Boston.
And I'm Renee Boston.
And...
consummate professional.
Yeah, you want to laugh now? See, guys, this is what I go through. This is. I hope everybody else is enjoying their Monday morning. But what you guys haven't heard is this is the second time trying to do this. The first time there was a real bad mess up on my part.
There was math involved.
Well, yeah, it was math involved, and there was a lot of thinking ahead off the top of my head, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't keep it all together. So this is time number 2. Hopefully this time we can get all the way through. But anyway, the first story we want to talk about, which really is not a laughing matter, is it deals with the Rutgers basketball coach, Mike Rice. He was fired. If you haven't had an opportunity to listen or to find out about what happened with this, but Rutgers college men's basketball coach Mike Rice was fired last week because of his behavior during practices and during games with his players. And there was a video that has surfaced of him. I mean, several videos of him just totally out of control, criminally assaulting his players, using very bad language.
He's using different slurs and throwing basketballs, kicking at them, and
kicking players, talking about sexual orientation. I mean, all types of things that I think were totally unacceptable. But we got this video from Sean Hannity. This was sent to us, and Sean Hannity has a different take on the situation. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you take a look. Take a look.
Sure. Rutgers basketball coach. And this is interesting to me. A guy named Mike Rice, he just got let go after this video revealed him throwing the basketball at the players and being kind of rough on them, pushing them around a little bit. You can see him there and actually hitting some of the kids. He's very intense. So get in the game. You can see a video there where he's actually pushing one of the players. There's one instance where he throws a ball at him there, and it was really. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking, all right, I don't like it. He kicked one player there, but on the other hand, you know what? I kind of like old-fashioned discipline. And on the other hand, I mean, we've become that politically incorrect. These are adults. They don't want to play for that team. They can leave.
Yeah, well, sports is a rough world, and I have to say honestly that I've never been a huge fan of basketball. It's interesting how we only pay attention to these conflagrations when it comes to hate speech. If the left-wing media makes a big fuss and kick over these particular incidents, I mean, the problem isn't so much that there are consequences for hate speech, and I think there should be. The problem is that the left is so very, very, very selective about when it chooses to manufacture outrage and when it doesn't.
But isn't he trying to do something, because sports are so competitive today, that he's trying to bring the best out of them, put discipline in that team, raise their game, force them to focus, force them to push them to become champions, and that takes intensity. It's like a drill sergeant. Are we going to now fire drill sergeants because they get in the face of cadets? Is that next on the list of politically incorrect things we can't do?
Yeah. Well, I certainly agree that political correctness has run amok. I mean, I've been talking about it since I was in college myself, and I think that all of these sports coaches now need to be made aware that they are under a huge microscope. Anybody with a cell phone or a camera can tape these kinds of things now. But I think that there should be scrutiny of the people who blow the whistle on these kind of things, and question is about when they raise it and when they demand swift action. And when they don't.
If you don't want to play for that coach anymore, then leave. You don't have to stay there. But I can understand. Stop hitting them maybe, but I like the intensity. I like the drive. I like that he's pushing those kids and that he runs a tight ship. Maybe we need a little more discipline in society, and maybe we don't have to be a bunch of wimps for the rest of our lives. My father hit me with a belt. I turned out okay, except for the minds of liberals.
Same here. Yeah, that's right.
Did you ever get hit? You didn't deserve it. I deserved it.
Oh, I certainly did.
You did.
And with more than a belt.
And you turned out okay.
I'm sure the left thinks that we are warped minds.
Yeah, that's probably true. But that's a good thing. If they liked me, I'd feel that things are really bad. Michelle, thank you.
Yeah, well, I have to tell you, I'm much better at administering spankings now than receiving them.
Yeah, I'm wimp at giving them. That's my problem.
All right. Now, I mean, you guys have had an opportunity to listen to it, and I don't know if you've heard that before, but Renee, do you want to say anything about it?
My problem with faux news, and I call it faux news, FAUX, it's everything doesn't necessarily have to be political.
Right.
And this type of situation isn't political. It is it's a situation of violence on impressionable people, these students. Right. And it has nothing to do with being a liberal or conservative or on the left wing or right wing. Was this man's behavior wrong? That's the only question. It has nothing to do with political affiliation, in my opinion.
Right, and really, it's really sad that something like this would be used like this. And this is the reason why we're talking about this, because this is big news. And I grew up playing sports. My brother and I, we played sports, played basketball, played baseball. I mean, we grew up like this, and we grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I have never seen a coach, I have never seen anything like this. And this behavior is uncalled for, it's unacceptable, and no one should be making light of this in the sense that good old-fashioned discipline. I mean, kicking somebody, throwing a basketball at their head, assaulting them. What are we talking about? Old-fashioned discipline?
It's not old-fashioned discipline. The thing is, these types of things do go on, and they still go on.
Right.
It's just fortunate enough for those Rutgers players is that it was caught on video, and he was he terminated at that point?
Yeah. Rice has been he's been fired. But again, like I said, the bigger problem that I have with it is for someone in the national media like this to essentially be making light of this type of situation and trying to turn it into something that is political, and
there's no cause for that.
For them to be able to say, oh well, then just leave and just quit and things like that. Well, there's a lot of things that do go on with sports. I mean, you do leave your program. You have to sit out as a transfer a lot of times. You can't play that next year. A lot of times these students are on scholarship. It'd be interesting to know, does Mr. Hannity know anything about any of these types of issues? It's clearly, based on what he's talking about, it doesn't sound like he does know much about the life of a regular college student in this day and age and what goes on.
Sounds like he doesn't know much about much
when it cocomes to this. But I would like to thank one of our BLG fans for sending us that, because I didn't know that was out there, but I think it was something that we definitely wanted to talk about in this week's news. Moving on to the second story, and this one is just, I don't even know what to say about this one. This was out of ABC News, and this was the body of a North Carolina missing woman was found in her wrecked car days after the car was towed. So we had an accident, we had a collision on the side of the road. An investigation, I guess, took place, if you can call it that. And then they found out that the woman was still in the car.
Right. So my understanding is the police officer investigated the crash. I guess did some kind of report after that. Called for the tow company to come and remove the car. I don't know if it fell down a ravine or a ditch or something like that. But the tow company removed the vehicle, took it to the tow yard, and I guess a few days later, during the course of a detective or the investigative officer, during the course of investigation, went back to check the car for, I guess, scenes of how to reconstructing the accident, and her body was found in the car.
I just don't even know what to say about this. I mean, the story goes on further to say that in the accident report, the trooper, M.D. Williams, he noted that there was no driver at the scene of the collision or anything like that, and then that Dustin's Towing was called to the scene to remove the vehicle from the ditch and to keep it in storage.
So I'm assuming that if she either didn't have her seatbelt on or the impact made her slide under the seatbelt, and she was kind of either on the floorboard of the vehicle.
Right, but it's just doesn't. It's
that you can't even nobody just peeked in at one point.
Nobody even looked at the car. I mean, nobody. Nobody looked at.
I don't know if it was raining or something like that. If it was mud, how far did it fall down? Would it fall in some water? Where there was
I don't know. Well, the pictures right here on the picture showing the side of the road, it doesn't look like it was raining to me.
It looks like just some,
looks like a regular ravine, a regular little ditch. But who knows? I mean, this is a sad story, and the family has to deal with this. But
I don't think that's the last we've heard of this one.
No, I think there's going to be some more action that's going to take place in this story. And the final story for this week, BLG News. Renee, you want to talk about, since you got everything together with it?
Yes, BLG fans. We have just a few weeks left on our arthritis walk. It is set for 41 days left. It's May 18th. We are doing the National Arthritis Walk. It's part of the Let's Get Moving campaign, or Let's Move campaign, just to raise awareness for arthritis and try to raise money for treatment options and things of that nature for arthritis. So check out our page. Donate if you have time, or if you're available on the 18th. Come on out and join us. We would love to have additional walkers. I'm pretty sure we need additional volunteers for the event.
Yes, and right now, me again, the money man, we have pledged $500 is what we said that BLG would like to raise for this. So again, you should see a link right now going through on the bottom of this video. You can go to that link and you can donate. You can give $5, $10, whatever you want to give. And again, guys, this goes for a really, really good cause. And it's just more of us trying to be more involved in the community and raising awareness for this type of situation, especially, Renee, because we know a lot of our injury clients.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of people suffer from arthritis and arthritic conditions and may not have been officially diagnosed with it, and probably won't or probably won't be until later stages in their life. But a lot of people are suffering from arthritic symptoms now, whether they're in their 20s and 30s and 40s. So it's a situation that affects more than just it's not just the disease of the elderly or an affliction of the elderly anymore.
Right. All right. Well, I think that's about it. You got anything else?
Yeah, I have nothing else.
All right, that sounds good to me. So, shut up time?
Shut up time.
Shut up time. All right, guys, if you would like to send us a story, you can send us an email at info@bostonlawllc.com. Again, that's info@bostonlawllc.com. You can give us a call at 301-850-4832. Again, that's 301-850-4832. And if you are a Facebook fan and you have Facebook, you can look us up on Facebook.
Yep, just type in Boston Law Group LLC.
You can search us on Facebook.
It'll come up.
You can like our page and also our YouTube channel. Again, I'm Marcus Boston.
And I'm Renee Boston.
And thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy your day.
Bye-bye.